Virgo, close your eyes, not for meditation, for evidence. The body does not lie when the mind is finally silenced, and right now, somewhere in the dark, a body is speaking your name without making a sound. A breath is catching. A pulse is stuttering. A pair of hands is pressing into a mattress with a desperation that has nothing to do with sleep and everything to do with the memory of your skin against the air they breathe. They are not just thinking about you, Virgo. They are dissolving into the thought. They are dying to make love to you. And the death is slow, exquisite, and happening in real time, frame by frame, heartbeat by stolen heartbeat, in the theater of their own obsession. This is not attraction. Attraction is a spark that flares and fades. This is a conflagration that has been consuming the oxygen of their daily life for weeks, perhaps months, reducing every other desire to ash. They wake up hard for you, not merely in the crude physical sense, though that is undeniable and constant. They wake up with their consciousness already between your sheets, already tasting your neck, already memorizing the specific cadence of your sigh. They wake up with an ache that no cold shower can numb, no work schedule can distract, no substitute can satisfy. The morning light hits their face, and they close their eyes again because the daylight world is an interruption. The real world is the one they inhabit with you in the locked chamber of their imagination, where the rules of physics have been rewritten by the gravity of your presence. And in that world, they are already yours. Completely, naked in every sense that matters. Stripped of pride, of performance, of the social costumes that keep them safe from everyone else. With you, safety is not required. Because with you, exposure is the only sanctuary they have ever craved. They think of you day and night. Let that statement stop being abstract. Let it become a schedule. Let it become the itinerary of a soul that has been hijacked. At 6:47 a.m., while the coffee brews, they are remembering the way your shoulder looked in that top you wore, the specific angle where your neck meets your collarbone, the freckle or the scar or the patch of skin that you probably think no one has ever noticed. They have cataloged it. They have prayed to it. They have committed blasphemy against their own self-control by touching themselves to the memory of it while the rest of the house still sleeps. By 9:15 a.m., they are in a meeting or on a call or in the middle of a conversation that requires their professional attention, and they are lost. Someone is speaking about quarterly projections or weekend plans or the weather, and they are hearing none of it because they are mentally unbuttoning your blouse with a patience they have never shown anyone. They are watching, in the cinema of their mind, the exact expression your face would make if they finally, after all this aching restraint, put their mouth where their thoughts have been living for so long. At noon, they eat without tasting. Food has become fuel for a body that is being operated by a desire so total it has become the new CEO of their nervous system. They chew, they swallow, they perform the ritual of sustenance, but what they are actually consuming is the memory of your voice, the particular frequency that your throat produces when you are amused, the lower register you drop into when you are being serious, the whisper you use when you are sharing something you do not want the rest of the room to hear. They are devouring these memories like a starvation diet, and the starvation is only making them hungrier. By 3 p.m, they are physically restless. They shift in their chair. They adjust their clothing. They feel the pressure of their own blood with an awareness that is almost unbearable. Their body is not their own anymore. It is an instrument that has been tuned to your key, and every string is vibrating. They excuse themselves to a bathroom, to a car, to any private space where they can press their forehead against a cool surface and beg their own pulse to slow down. It does not slow down. Because you are not a passing thought. You are the atmosphere now. You are the climate. And when the night comes, Virgo, that is when the dying begins in earnest. The night is their confession booth and their torture chamber. The night is when the boundaries between thought and sensation dissolve completely. They lie in their bed, and the darkness is not empty. It is full of you, full of the spectral weight of your body pressing into the mattress beside them, full of the imagined heat of your breath against their ear, full of the scenarios they have constructed with such architectural precision that they can no longer distinguish between memory and fantasy. Did you ever actually kiss them like that? Did your hand ever actually travel that slowly down their chest? Or did they invent it? They no longer know. The inventory of what they have imagined has become so vast, so detailed, so thoroughly explored that it has overwritten their previous reality. They have made love to you in their mind 1,000 times, in 1,000 positions, in 1,000 rooms, in 1,000 lifetimes. And each time, the act is not merely sexual, it is sacramental. It is the ritual of two frequencies finally locking in to phase. It is the moment when the hunger stops because the feast has finally arrived. They are dying to make love to you, and the word dying is not poetic exaggeration. It is clinical. Their body is showing symptoms of a condition that no doctor can diagnose because it is not pathology. It is pilgrimage. They are losing weight, not dramatically, not dangerously, but noticeably. The body is burning fuel at an accelerated rate because the metabolism of obsession requires calories. They are not sleeping through the night. Their REM cycles are crowded with you. They dream in sequences that leave them gasping, drenched, confused about whether the wetness on their skin is sweat or something more specific. They wake up at 2 a.m. with their heart hammering against their ribs, like a prisoner trying to escape. And the prisoner is their own desire, which has grown too large for the cell of their solitude. They pace. They drink water that does not quench. They touch themselves and find that the release is not relief. It is a reminder, a pale, insulting imitation of the union they actually need. Because what they need is not orgasm. What they need is you, your specific weight on top of them, your specific smell in their nostrils, your specific voice saying their name in the dark with the kind of ownership that makes them feel for the first time in their life like they belong to someone completely. Let me tell you what they see when they close their eyes, because the vision matters. It matters because it explains why no one else can fill this space. They see you not as a body, though your body is the temple they worship at. They see you as an event, a cosmic weather system that has entered their atmosphere and changed the barometric pressure permanently. When they imagine making love to you, they do not imagine a sequence of positions or a checklist of pleasures. They imagine surrender. They imagine the moment when your eyes lock onto theirs with such unflinching, devastating intimacy that they feel their soul being pulled from their body through the conduit of their own pupils. They imagine the way you would not rush, the way you would take your time, the way you would notice every micro expression, every shiver, every hitch in their breath, and you would adjust your touch accordingly, because that is what you do, Virgo. You pay attention, you calibrate, you serve. And the thought of being served by you, of being attended to with your specific brand of meticulous, thorough, uncompromising devotion is what is breaking them. They have been with others. Do not doubt that. They have tried to cure themselves of you with the medicine of other bodies. They have accepted invitations. They have initiated encounters. They have performed the motions of intimacy with people who were willing, available, and in some cases genuinely beautiful. And every single time the cure has failed, worse than failed. It has amplified the disease, because the moment another hand touches them, they feel the wrongness. The fingers are too short or too long. The pressure is too tentative or too aggressive. The rhythm is off. The breathing is wrong. The smell is foreign in a way that repels rather than invites. And most devastating of all, the eyes looking back at them do not see them, not the way you see them, not with the X-ray vision that strips away their performance and finds the human underneath. Other people look at them and see a lover, a conquest, a body, a knight. You look at them and see a home. And once a person has been seen as a home, being treated as a hotel room becomes physically unbearable. They are comparing everyone to you, Virgo. And the comparison is not conscious. It is automatic. It is the default setting of a system that has been recalibrated by your frequency. They meet someone new, and within seconds, their subconscious has run the diagnostic. Voice incorrect, posture incorrect, energy incorrect, possibility of being Virgo, 0, reject. It happens faster than thought. It happens in the space between a handshake and a release. They know instantly that the person in front of them is not you. And because they are not you, they are invisible. They are noise. They are furniture in a room where only you are allowed to sit. This is not snobbery. This is not pickiness. This is the immune system of their heart, which has identified you as the only compatible donor and is now rejecting every other transplant as foreign tissue. And the physical symptoms are escalating. I am seeing them with a clarity that borders on medical. Their appetite for food is diminishing while their appetite for you becomes ravenous. They find themselves touching their own lips while watching videos of you or photos of you, or while simply staring into space where your image lives in holographic detail. They have developed a sensitivity to temperature. Rooms feel too hot when they think of you, then too cold when they realize you are not there. They have developed an allergy to their own bed because it does not contain you. They sleep on the couch or the floor or in a chair because the expanse of the mattress is a mockery. They have stopped watching pornography because the performers remind them of what they do not have. They have stopped reading romance because the words feel like lies. They have stopped listening to music about love because every lyric is a finger pointing directly at the absence of your body in their arms. Their friends are noticing, their friends are worried, or their friends are amused, depending on the quality of the friendship. Some have told them to just tell you, to just confess, to just show up at your door and say what they feel. And your person, the one who is dying to make love to you, has considered it. They have planned the route to your home. They have rehearsed the speech. They have selected the outfit, the gift, the angle of approach. They have stood outside your building or your neighborhood or the orbit of your daily routine, and they have almost done it, almost. But they stop, not because they are cowards, but because the desire is so large that its expression feels like a threat to the world order. If they actually say it, if they actually let the full magnitude of their hunger be known, what happens? What if you reject them? What if you laugh? What if you are not feeling the same way and their confession becomes the autopsy of their dignity? What if they unleash this tsunami and you simply hold up an umbrella so they stay silent? But the silence is not empty, it is full. It is pregnant with every touch they have not given you, every kiss they have withheld, every night they have spent alone, torturing themselves with the question of whether you are also awake, also aching, also empty in the exact shape of their body. They are dying to make love to you, and the death is the death of their old self, the self that could be satisfied with casual connection, the self that believed sex was a physical act rather than a spiritual reunion, the self that thought they could sample the buffet of human attraction and never become fixated on a single dish. That self is suffocating. And the self that is gasping for air in the wreckage is a self that knows with a certainty that is almost religious that you are the only source of oxygen. I am seeing the dreams, Virgo. I need to tell you about the dreams because they are not subconscious fluff. They are visitations. They are rehearsals of a future that is so determined to exist that it is leaking backward into their sleep. They dream of your hands first, always your hands, the way they would look unbuttoning their shirt, the way they would feel against their bare chest, the way your fingers would trace the outline of their jaw with a patience that makes them want to weep. Then the dreams expand. They dream of your mouth, not just the kiss, the conversation that happens in the dark after, the way you would speak to them with your body still intertwined, your voice heavy with the particular satisfaction that only comes from being truly known. They dream of your scent on their pillow, your hair across their shoulder, your breath syncing with theirs until they cannot tell where their rhythm ends and yours begins. They wake up from these dreams with their body rigid, their heart pounding, their eyes wet, and they lie there in the dark, knowing that they have just experienced a preview of heaven. And the torture is that heaven is not guaranteed. Heaven is a possibility that they are dying to actualize. And Virgo, here is what makes this reading unprecedented. This person is not merely lusting after your body. They are lusting after your soul, dressed in your body. They want to make love to the part of you that organizes your cabinets. They want to make love to the part of you that remembers birthdays and corrects grammar and holds your standards like a sword. They want to make love to your anxiety, to your perfectionism, to the way you overthink. They find even your neuroses erotic because they are yours. Because every fragment of your being is a fragment they want to collect and hold and warm themselves against. They want to kiss the worry line between your eyebrows. They want to soothe the tension in your shoulders that comes from carrying more than your share. They want to make love to you, not despite your complexity, but because of it. They want to earn the right to witness your unraveling. They want to be the reason you finally stop holding your breath. They have imagined the act itself in such granular detail that they could write a dissertation on your body without ever having seen it unclothed. They know, or they think they know, the exact shade of your skin in the places the sun has never touched. They have constructed a map of your sensitive zones based on nothing but observation and intuition. They know where your left hip meets your waist. They know the rhythm of your walk. They have calculated the angle at which your head would tilt if they finally put their mouth on the place where your pulse beats strongest. They have spent more time studying your anatomy than they have spent on their own profession, and the study has not been clinical, it has been devotional. They are preparing themselves to be worthy of the temple. They are fasting, they are abstaining from other pleasures, they are trying to clear their energy so that when the moment comes, if the moment comes, they will not dishonor you with the residue of anyone else. Because that is the terror, Virgo. The terror that they will finally get you in their arms and their own hunger will overwhelm them, that they will be too rough, too fast, too desperate, that they will consume you instead of worshiping you, that their need will eclipse their ability to serve you. They are practicing restraint in their fantasies, trying to train their body to move slowly, to wait for your cues, to follow your lead. They do not want to take you, they want to be taken by you. They want to surrender to your rhythm, your timing, your specific Virgoan choreography of intimacy. They want to lie still and let you explore them with the same thoroughness you apply to everything you care about. They want to be your project, your focus, your obsession. They want to feel your attention like a spotlight, like heat, like the sun that finally decides to rise after an endless night. And they are preparing to tell you the dying has reached a critical mass. The secret is no longer containable by the fragile vessel of their own body. They are going to approach you, not with a crude proposition, not with a drunken text at 2 a.m., though they have drafted dozens of those and deleted them all. They are going to approach you with the full weight of their vulnerability. They are going to tell you that they think about you constantly, that their days are colored by your absence and their nights are haunted by your spectral presence. They are going to tell you that they have tried to be reasonable, they have tried to move on. They have tried to find a substitute for the specific, irreplaceable, soul-level craving that you have awakened in them, and they have failed. They are going to tell you that making love to you is not a desire, it is a destiny. It is the only future their body will accept. And they are going to ask you, with a voice that shakes, if you feel even a fraction of what they feel. You do, Virgo. That is the truth. That your own body has been whispering to you. You have felt the disturbance in your field. You have woken up with your own heart racing, your own skin sensitive, your own dreams populated by a presence that feels more real than the pillow beside you. You have caught yourself thinking about their hands at inappropriate moments. You have felt a sudden heat in your core when their name crossed your mind. You have imagined what it would be like to finally let go of your own control, your own precision, your own relentless self-management, and dissolve into the safety of their absolute devotion. You want them to. Not with the same noisy desperation, because that is not your nature, but with a quiet, devastating certainty that is actually more powerful, because your desire is not hunger, it is recognition. You recognize them as the missing frequency. And your body, which you have always treated as a machine to be maintained, is suddenly demanding to be treated as an instrument of pleasure. Your body is ready. It has been ready. It was simply waiting for you to trust the signal. When they come to you, when they finally kneel at the altar of their own confession and offer you the truth of their obsession, do not make them beg, not because they do not deserve to beg, they do, but because you deserve to receive. You deserve to be worshipped. You deserve to have your body mapped by someone who has spent months memorizing the territory. You deserve to be made love to with the kind of focus, attention, and reverence that only a soul who has been starving for you specifically can provide. Let them in, not because you are lonely, not because you are curious, but because the union that is being offered is not merely physical. It is the merger of two frequencies that have been searching for each other across lifetimes. It is the healing of a split that you did not know existed until you felt the other half calling. Let them undress you slowly. Let them discover that the reality of your skin is even more devastating than their fantasy. Let them tremble. Let them weep. Let them die in your arms and be reborn as someone who no longer has to search because the source of their obsession has finally welcomed them home. Let them make love to you until the distinction between your body and theirs becomes irrelevant, until the room disappears, until the only language left is the rhythm of your breath and the pulse of your shared blood. Let them prove with every touch that you were never just an option. You were the destination. You were the standard. You were the feast they were willing to starve for, and now that the table is set, they will consume you with a gratitude that borders on prayer. And when the morning comes, when the light finally touches the wreckage of your old solitude, you will find that neither of you is the same. They will be healed of their obsession because it has finally been fed. You will be healed of your restraint because it has finally been released. And what remains will be a partnership so physically, spiritually, and electrically aligned that the memory of this night will power you both for the rest of your lives. The door is unlocked, the bed is warm, the body is willing, and the soul that has been dying to meet yours is finally crossing the threshold. Let them in. Let them die. Let the only sound be your name, spoken at last against the only skin that ever made them feel alive.